Hello friends. Now in the previous session, we have discussed about the occupational health concept, what exactly the occupational health is, then what are the services included in the occupational health services, then what is the requirement of doctors, medical officer, etc. Then what are the types of diseases, especially the common occupational diseases, then the diseases which are clearly mentioned in the Factory Act 1948, that is list of notifiable diseases, and then how to control these diseases. Now, one of the common occupational disease which is clearly mentioned in the Factory Act is noise. So we have also discussed about that noise or hearing loss. So what exactly the noise means, what are the hearing losses are, and how to control that. So before that, or before controlling, we must know what are the sources of this noise and how to reduce the noise with the help of engineering control or with the help of personal protective equipment. And if it is not possible with the engineering control or PP, then we have to adopt some other options. In a similar way, there are some health effects due to noise as well as with the vibrations, because generally vibration is related to the noise, because most of the vibrating machineries and the heavy machineries are producing the noise as well as vibrations, and there are some solutions for reduction of the vibration. But in case if the vibration is not reduced, then we have to control the vibration also. So if you control the noise in some of the equipments, indirectly you are going to control the vibration itself. So some of the points like sources, effects, and controlling methods we must discuss in this session. So what exactly the noise is? So noise means the uncomfortable sound. So generally what we are hearing in the industries, in the lectures, on the road, etc. Normally the decibel limit of that noise is 75. So with reference to the MFR and Factory Act again, the amendment is done and the limit of 95 decibels is now changed to the 85 decibels, right? So generally from the experimental point of view and from the doctor's point of view, if you are hearing more than 85 decibels sound on a continuous manner, then it becomes noise. So that is the basic difference between the sound and noise. So if you are comfortable for listening the lecture, for listening the music, or listening the various sounds on the road or in the industries, then that is simply sound. But when you are feeling that I am going to irritate due to this sound, then it becomes noise. That is the simple definition of this noise, and you have to understand what is the basic difference between this sound and noise, right? So this noise may be too low or too high. So both the things are harmful for our ears, so that can cause a ear strain or ear pain. And there may be some auditory effects and non-auditory effects. So auditory effects means after listening that noise or sound, your ear may affect on the temporary basis or maybe on the permanent basis. So if the listening capacity of a person is going to shift on a temporary basis, then it is called as hearing loss on a temporary basis. So simple example in our daily life is, if you are listening the sound or the music or the songs through the headphone or earphone on a continuous basis, then after some time, after some hours, you may feel the temporary hearing threshold shift. That technical word is threshold shift of hearing. So hearing loss is minimized due to that high sound or high noise level in your ear due to the headphone or earphone. So that may be a temporary effect. After some times, when you become a normal, means you are not using that headphone or earphone, then that threshold hearing shift is again going to shift towards the normal hearing. But in case if you are working in an industry where the high noise level is there, especially if you observe the examples of punching, pressing machines, welding cutting machines, or the steel industry like example, foundry like examples, or where the noise level is always high, like the air compressor room, the fan room, blower room, or the vibrating machineries room. So these are the different examples of the industries where there is always a high noise is there. So if you are working for 8 hours without personal protective equipment or without any engineering control, then you may face the permanent hearing loss problems, that is permanent threshold shift between the hearing capacity. Then another type is non-auditory effect. So due to the noise, you may feel a nervousness, you may feel a fatigue, you may feel some difficulty in conversation, you may decrease the efficiency of your work due to that distraction or irritation due to the noise or sound. And there may be an issue of annoyance and psychological and systemic effects. So these are the different effects or signs and symptoms which can be observed in the working environment in the worker, and that is directly not related to the ear. That is why it is called as non-auditory effects. So there are mainly two effects, auditory effect and non-auditory effects. So the degree of injury may be an issue due to this noise also. So that depends on the intensity and frequency of noise. So sometimes your eardrums or the antennas, which is called as in the ear structure, so that antenna may be damaged temporary or permanent basis. So these antennas are nothing but the sensors for listening that particular sound. Then that also depends on the exposure time. So how much time you are going to exposed for that 85 plus decibels sound or noise, and then individual susceptibility. So as we know that it depends on the individual person also what exactly your health is, and depending on that you may sustain for more than hours, 2 hours, etc. That may be a case for a individual person, but for the same environment that may be not acceptable by the second person. So that is also depend on the health status of an individual person. So this is about a basics of noise. So what is the vibrations? So normally the 10 to 500 hertz frequency range, normally found with the pneumatic drills, hammers and grinders, affects the hands and arms. So in industry, if you are using these power tools, heavy tools, which is specially used for the grinding purpose or the drilling purpose, etc., these machineries are creating the vibrations in the range of this 10 to 500 hertz frequency. So this vibration you can feel to your hands, to your shoulders, to whole body. So that depends on the frequency of that vibrations. And due to this, the first point, that is contact point, is hands generally. So if you are handling these types of equipments, then your hands are feeling that vibrations, and then it is transferred to the arms. And if it is more and on a continuous basis, then these vibrations are transferred to your body also. So after exposure of these vibrations for the months or the years, then your fingers become sensitive to spasms known as white fingers. So it is also called as Raynaud's phenomena, that is white fingers disease. Why these white fingers disease is there? Due to the vibration also, because the blood circulation is not going to happen in a normal way as it is happen without handling these vibrating machineries. So the blood circulation is disturbed, and without blood circulation, your finger seems as a white instead of red or uh, the pink color. So normally our fingers is in that color, and it indicates that hemoglobin is as per the expected level. But due to this vibration, if the blood circulation is not proper into the fingers, into your hands, then there may be a chances of white fingers disease. Vibrations are also produce injuries to joints, elbows and shoulders. So if you are continuously working with the equipments which may produce these types of vibrations, then you may face these types of problems or the health issues which are related to the joints, elbows and shoulders also. What are the adverse effects? That is the negative effect of the noise. So generally that frequency which is less than 4000 Hz is a moderate sound, which is good, but high sound or noise is hazardous. The different harmful effects of this noise are noise frequency and intensity dependency. So that depends on that frequency and intensity of sound, the total length of exposure at a time. So sometimes if you observe the maximum permissible limits of this noise, which is mentioned in the rules and regulation. For example, in the state government rule, that is Maharashtra Factory Rule 1963, in the one of the schedule, it is mentioned that it is a TWA value, that is time weighted average value, which is specifically designed for the 8 hours criteria. Sometimes it is mentioned as a stale value, that is short term exposure limit. So that is for the 15 minutes only. Means if the intensity and frequency of that noise is more, then you have to observe this sound and then decide that whether to go for this much of frequency and intensity exposure for this much of time or not. So that is why this stale value is incorporated. Means in some of the cases for high intensity and for high frequency sounds, we must expose to that area less than 15 minutes. So that is stale value. So likewise, there are various options and parameters are involved in the different rules and regulations. Then distance from the noise source. So we have to keep the distance from the noise source to reduce that intensity of that noise. Whether noise is continuous, interrupted, sudden or impulsive, you have to avoid this much sound or the noise. So sometimes if it is a continuous process, so like punching, then welding, grinding, cutting, drilling, these are the operations which are generally carried out in the industries on a continuous basis. Sometimes it is interrupted only, means like hammer. So if the hammering is operation for a particular sheet, then only 1, 2, 3, 4 times hammering process can be done. So that may be not on a continuous basis. Sudden, so only the loading, unloading materials or some other issues due to some other processes which are carried out by not following the standard operating procedures may create sudden sound or impulsive sound. So that is depend on the conditions also, whether ear protector is worn or not. So we have to check the ear protecting devices. That may be a ear plug, that may be a ear muff or some helmet provisions also, including that ear muff and ear plug arrangement. Then individual susceptibility depending on the age and health. So as we know that from 20 to 40 years age, we can sustain many things which are related to the health aspects, but after 40 years or below 20 years, you have to check the susceptibility criteria. Then excessive noise harms overall health and may contribute to the mental stress, physical stress, certain illness, hearing loss or deafness, accidents and labor productivity. So sometimes in some of the workers, the stresses are developed. So that may be a physical stress, that may be a mental stress, and due to these stresses, there may be a chances of accidents. So that is again due to the excessive noise. The common sources of noise pollution is in a general, that is airplanes or airports, then traffic and mass transit, amplified or piped in music, then construction and industrial activity, emergency vehicles like ambulance or fire tender, etc. Then lawns and gardens equipments or farming equipments, and especially some of the PA systems also in India and in some of the countries. So all these are the different sources of noise pollution. It means they are generating the noise which is exceed the maximum permissible limits given by the Pollution Control Board or the government of India. Then what are the effects of this noise pollution? So noise pollution affects both health and behavior. So I have already mentioned that in some of the workers, mental stresses are also developed and that may change your behavior. If there is some physical stresses or some threshold shift in the hearing, then also that is a health effect. So unwanted sound can damage psychological health. So we are facing these issues many times, especially in the specific department or on the road. If you observe on the signal also, if the green signal is there, obviously we all know that after green signal we have to run, but sometimes still some members are using the horn, and due to this horn again we are going to disturb. So that damage temporarily the psychological health of that person. Noise pollution can cause annoyance, aggression, hypertension, high stress levels, hearing loss, then sleep disturbances and other harmful effects. So even if you understand that what exactly the damages of this excessive noise is, then you can understand the health aspects are very important as far as this noise is concerned. Some other adverse health effects with reference to the WHO guidelines, they have mentioned related to this hearing impairment, that is children seems to be more vulnerable than the adults. Then long exposure to the high sound levels cause loss of hearing, occurs at level of 80 decibels or greater. So in India, 85 decibels is the maximum permissible limit. And in some of the countries, 75 to 80 decibels is the maximum limit. So the reason you can understand. The ability to understand the partially masked or distorted speech begins to deteriorate around age 30 and declines steadily thereafter. So generally, therefore, the older the listener, the lower the background noise must be the normal communication. So interference with the spoken communication include problems with concentration, fatigue, uncertainty, lack of self-confidence, irritation, misunderstanding, decreased working capacity, disturbed interpersonal relationship, and stress reaction. So these are the different health effects, that is the adverse health effects mentioned by the WHO. Some other effects may be categorized as psychological effects, then normal auditory communication effects, and related to the working efficiency. So we have already discussed all these types of effects. These are only categorized in a different manner. So from the discussion, this is one of the slide which clearly indicates the summary of this noise pollution. What are the causes of noise pollution? Urban planning, industrialization, public transportation, noise pollution from the cars, construction, children's, events, domestic appliances, agriculture, then alarm systems, military, operations, storms, rainfalls, thunder, etc. What are the adverse effects on the human beings? That is psychological disorders, tinnitus, stress, annoyance, brain damage, hearing problems, cardiovascular diseases, communication issues, sleeping issues, effects on animals and plants. And what are the solutions for these noise controlling techniques? Reduce sound in your space, turn off electronics equipments, mask noise, close the windows. So that is nothing but the enclosure techniques. Then move to another home with low level of noise pollution. It means we are going to increase the distance from the source of noise. Then build a fence. So that may be a glass or the wooden fence, so that they can absorb the sound. And that is why tree plantation is there. One of the characteristics of the trees is that they are going to absorb the sound also. Then plant the trees, that is the reason. Install quiet spaces. Then electric cars, so that the car sound or car noises is going to decrease. Then earplugs, we have to use the personal protective equipment if you are not going to control with the help of engineering control. Then we have to avoid the headphones or earphones for a longer time. Then government regulations that which are given by the state as well as central government, we have to follow. And in India, noise pollution rule 2000 is there. With reference to this noise pollution rule, they have clearly indicated the different zones, that is A, B, C, D. And for this zone, for example, suppose there is an industrial zone, then there is a day and night limit is different. Then for the silence zones, there is a day and time, daytime and nighttime limits are different one. Then for the industrial area or industrial zone, there is again different criteria. And for the institutions, hospitals, etc., there is a different criteria. So for all these different zones, different criterias and different guidelines are provided. Even after 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., there is restrictions on the sound that is normally less than the 75 decibels. So like this, you have to follow all these government regulations. Be social, so we have to take care about the noise generated in our house and we have to reduce that. Then education, so we must know, likewise, this is the simple example that we must know about the noise pollution rule 2000. We must know about the schedules which are clearly mentioned in the Maharashtra Factory Rule 1963 or in the Factory Act 1948, etc. So likewise, in the respective country, in the respective state, we must know about the rules and regulations which are provided for that country. Then convince the others also. So we can request, we can communicate, and we can convince the others to reduce the source of noise. That is the best solution for controlling this noise. Then some measures you can adopt, like change in working environment, new and attractive atmosphere, good lighting and ventilation, good housekeeping, rotations of persons, recreation facility, etc. So which can boost our morale, which can boost our psychological promotions, or we can avoid the psychological stresses, etc. due to this sound and vibrations. So this is all about the sound and vibrations. What are the sources, then their adverse health effects on the human beings, and how to control that. Thank you.